Oxidative stress is a root cause of aging, and it's a root cause of chronic disease as well. And so you have to address oxidative stress. And it's probably the one that's the most difficult to address because, number one, you don't see it, right?
You don't see it, yeah.
And number two, you don't feel it until it's been accumulating for 20 to 30 years. Glutathione is a key molecule to dampen the oxidative stress.
Within 4 hours, they saw the oxidative stress markers, which is the MDA levels, plummeted within 4 hours. It has an immediate effect on antioxidant benefits. An immediate effect on making sure that oxidative stress doesn't rise anymore.
Dr. Patel, thanks for coming today.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure to be here.
I'm really excited about talking to you today about is kind of this new field of medicine where we're bringing IV therapy out of the hospital and only using it in emergency cases to actually using it for wellness. And that involves, nutrients. That involves also glutathione, which we're going to spend a lot of time talking about. Pharmaceuticals are a great way to emergently take care of an issue, but the whole goal should always be to fix your biology so you don't need the pharmaceutical in the future, right? And that might take years. I got off 10 different pharmaceuticals over the course of 8 months, but I've been on 2 of them. One is a blood pressure medication, one's a cholesterol medication for 10 years now. And I'm trying, but it's difficult to get off some pharmaceuticals. But I was able to get off 10 different pharmaceuticals in 8 months once I got my lifestyle in order.
Well, today we're going to take off 1 or 2 of those medications.
Okay, great.
Both of them, I have a solution for you today.
Oh, I can't wait.
So we're going to talk about that one because that's exactly what my dad had for 40 years almost. Blood pressure pills, cholesterol pills, and all those things. And I'll tell the story at the end. But let me just go back to again,
please,
from pharmaceuticals. Once the pharmaceutical is gone, the second part is, of course, we bring the nutrition. The thing is, we got to look at it. In order for you, as a doctor, you see patients, you run a business, you help millions of lives all over the world, I hear. So your number one job every single day is one thing, right? Get up and see patients and take care of them. If we can figure out a way to take over that job away from you, that means not that you're not doing it anymore, it's just that somebody else is doing it for you. Now you have all this free time to do whatever you want to do. And I can assure you that if that happens, you'll be not affecting millions of lives, you'll be affecting the billions of lives.
Right, absolutely.
Right? So that's the whole thing. Number one job in your body. Right? A body produces the highest molecule in the body produces glutathione. That's the number one job the body has every single day.
Really?
We breathe oxygen. We consume water. Without those 2, we will not survive, right? So that's the fuel that's coming to the body for the reactions that are happening. The reaction that's happening is to produce one product. The number one product is glutathione. And that's where I've spent my 25 years of my life working at that one molecule. And the reason was because if I can make a difference in that one molecule, I can change the whole trajectory on how people are going to age in the future.
Wow.
That was my ultimate goal, right?
Right.
As if I can change the trajectory, instead of you aging a year at a time, if I can only make you age maybe 1 month a year at a time, oh my God, I can just increase your lifespan by 11 folds.
Yeah.
That's nuts, right? Think about it. That is nuts. And that's why when we first met, this was years ago, I was doing IV glutathione because I thought that was a solution.
Right.
That was not the solution, but I was still, at that time when we first met, I was already into my 5 or 6 years of research on glutathione.
Sure.
After I had discovered the molecule as a stable form. We didn't talk about that at that time because I was not ready to release the product yet.
Got it.
But so that was the first thing that I was working on. And most of the people may not know what the glutathione is. I'm confused. You know what the glutathione is. But the glutathione is a tripeptide. It's just a basic peptide. People know peptide today because of GLP-1. But 25 years ago, when I said peptide, people said, what's a peptide? They didn't understand what I was talking about, right? So today we know what peptide is.
Yes.
So 3 amino acid chain peptides. It's the simplest molecule, but it's the most abundant produced in the human body. If I can take that job away from the body, imagine now the body has all the time and the energy and the resources to do everything else.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, that your body has gone so far off the track.
Mm-hmm.
To bring them back on the track is going to take you years to do that. And in most cases, it never comes back on track.
Right.
In most cases, it never comes back on track, right? So my goal is can I bring you back on track? The only way I can do that is if I can take the number one job away from you and allow the body to heal. Proper nutrition, IVs, proper diet, proper exercise plan, everything. Nothing excessive. Everything in moderation. And I can get you back on track.
So, I mean, that's amazing. So glutathione is this incredibly important molecule. I've known this for years. But sometimes patients and people just in general, when they first hear the word glutathione, they're like, what is that? And how does it work? And so you did a great job explaining it's 3 amino acids kind of put together. And what does this amino acid combination actually do in your body?
Oh, okay. So the thing is, we have known about glutathione for 140 plus years.
Right.
The problem is we never had a product that in the marketplace that actually absorbed intracellularly.
Got it.
So you can have a product, but if it was not absorbing, we have not found out all the uses for it yet.
Right.
Right. So we can only do research based on what your body does.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, do we know every single thing that's in the body today?
Probably like 1% of it.
1% of it, right?
Exactly.
So how do we know what the glutathione does every single thing?
Mm-hmm.
So as of today, we have known 2 things, which is, as of right now, that is done. One is antioxidant benefits, which is it quenches all the free radicals. Free radicals happens every single second. We breathe oxygen. We have chemical reactions. The byproduct is all this chemical reactions. Byproduct is all oxidative stress, our species. That has to be neutralized and quenched. Otherwise, they will cause damage to the body. And oxidative stress damage is the number one damage to the body.
Yeah.
Right? It's a given fact. So that's one thing we know. The second thing that nobody talks about it is the detoxification pathway activation.
Mm-hmm.
So what it does is conjugates inside your liver. There's all these different enzymes. The easiest one to see, because I do hormone replacement therapy all the time. So when I do hormone replacement therapy, I'm always looking for the CYP2B1 gene because that is affecting the metabolism of all the hormones I give them. If I can improve that enzymes and their conjugation pathways and eliminate all the toxic metabolites, I have an immediate positive response on all the hormone benefits. And so when I saw that, I said, great. So now I can tell my patients that, hey, this is where the glutathione is working. They have to see it to believe it. When I say that this works this way, well, show me, right?
Got it.
I trust you, but prove it to me.
Yeah.
And the body does it on its own, I can trust my body, but I don't trust you, right? So that's what the issue was. So that's one thing that we have seen is affecting hormone metabolism. So it's the conjugation pathways. The easiest one to do is the alcohol.
Yeah.
When you drink alcohol, it goes straight to your liver. Liver processes it really fast, and within 15, 20 minutes, you're buzzing.
Right.
The buzzing is what? Acetaldehyde, which is one of the toxic metabolites of alcohol. Now, if you use glutathione, guess what? All the alcohols get metabolized even faster. So you're buzzing even faster. But when you do a breathalyzer test or a blood draw, there's 0 alcohol left. So it's all getting metabolized. So I'm not saying that you get you sober faster, but what it does, it processes the alcohol so fast that we have done some testings, right? We have given to patients that have, not patients, customers that have been drinking alcohol, like 2, 3, 4 glasses or whatever they want to drink, and then apply the glutathione. And literally 15, 20 minutes, the blood alcohol levels is dropped dramatically to under legal limit. They're buzzing like crazy, so they're completely impaired. They cannot drive, they cannot do anything. They're buzzing. But what's happening is it's conjugating or activating the alcohol dehydrogenase enzyme to metabolize all the alcohol. So that's the second part.
Okay.
So there's 2 things that we do know of. It's antioxidant benefits and the conjugations or detoxification benefits.
Right.
Besides those, we haven't learned anything yet.
Wow. So, okay, I mean, but these are 2 really important things. And this is not in the forefront of most people's mindset when they think about their health, is this concept of oxidative stress. And the way I like to explain it to my patients is your body is basically producing energy all the time, right? We're burning food to make energy. Just like any furnace has burning food to make energy, there's smoke that comes out of it. The free radicals is like that smoke. And you have to get rid of this. Otherwise, the smoke is going to soot up everything in your body, right?
That's
And so
right.
it's a slow burning. And so the glutathione as a molecule is basically cleaning all that smoke, the free radicals, after the body burns energy to keep the system functioning well. And if you don't have enough glutathione, what happens? It's just like burning a fire inside your home and everything just becomes damaged and your cells die, right?
That's true. And that's a great example. I've never thought of that one. But like when you have a fireplace, when the wood's burning, the wood is really hot and it's covered up with this black soot on the top.
Right.
Unless you turn the logs.
Right.
As soon as you turn the logs, the heat comes up again.
Exactly.
But guess what? If you do not clean the film on the top, that's in the mitochondria doesn't produce more energy.
Right.
Even though it has the capacity, it doesn't produce more energy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, as you start aging, guess what? What's the first sign of aging? It's high fatigue. I just don't have the energy to do anything anymore.
Right.
Because it's not that they don't even have mitochondria. Well, that could be another reason too.
That's another reason,
but what I'm saying is that there's so much oxidative stress to the mitochondria that it's not refusing to produce more energy.
Oxidative stress is a root cause of aging and it's a root cause of chronic disease as well. And so you have to address oxidative stress. And it's probably the one that's the most difficult to address because number one, you don't see it, right?
You don't see it. Yeah.
Number two, you don't feel it until it's been accumulating for 20 to 30 years.
Yes.
And thirdly, when you tell someone when you tell someone you have a nutrient deficiency, they know I need more nutrients. When you tell them you have a lot of oxidative stress, they don't know what's the first thing you do to help with oxidative stress. And what you're saying is glutathione is a key molecule to dampen the oxidative stress.
That's right. That's why I'm on this journey now to educate everybody on this glutathione molecule, because the number of questions I get asked, I said, how do I know that I need glutathione?
Right.
I say, you don't. Do you want to take a chance?
Yeah.
If I have a magic ball, if I can tell you right now, if you take glutathione on a regular basis or improve the glutathione levels in your body for a regular basis, that I can extend your life by 10, 15, 20 years. Would you do it today?
Right.
I said, no. Because I don't know if it's for true or not. Because if I take for 30 years, I'm paying you for 30 years. I have no guarantees. And people want guarantees.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, how about if I do it and if I survive for an extra few years, then you can do it in 20, 30 years from now. That's the second choice people have, right? Or somewhere in between.
Yeah.
And so what I'm doing today is educating people about oxidative stress, what it is. And you can see people with oxidative stress when they're older.
Uh-huh.
And if I can impact their lives and get them better, and if you're today in your 30s and 40s, you have the best chance to nip this oxidative stress in the bud today and have a very long life.
Right.
When I say long life doesn't mean in a nursing home life. Long life.
Long, healthy life.
Long, healthy life.
Yeah.
Because life is only good until you're surviving and you're thriving.
Right.
As soon as you're in a nursing home and waiting to die, that's not a life. You're already dead. Right?
Exactly. And so, I want to touch again on the second mechanism that you say we know about glutathione, which is our conjugation, basically our liver detoxification pathways, right? So the liver, one of the biggest organs in our body, the most metabolically active, the only place where you detoxify many chemicals and also make hormones functional as well. And so if the liver is not functioning well, then you have a problem, right? You're going to succumb to toxins and your hormones are not going to work well. If you're on hormone replacement therapy, or even if you're not, you have problems there. And so glutathione is actually helping your liver conjugate these molecules.
Molecules, yep.
Right.
Well, by the time you wake up this morning, when you came over here to the studio, you're exposed to at least 70 different chemicals.
Right. Exactly.
Right? And these are chemicals that are foreign to human body, that your liver has to figure out a way to get rid of it. That's every single day. By the time you get home, you'll be exposed to another 70 more chemicals by the time you go to sleep. There's a different chemicals, not the same, different chemicals. So every single day, there are at least 100 to 140 different chemicals your body has to process. And over time, gets accumulated. Have you lived in an old house before?
Yeah, of course.
Right? If it's a brand new house, guess what? Everything's in the right place.
Right.
Over time, you accumulate things and it gets dusty. And if you haven't cleaned the house in a while, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's how the body is.
Yeah.
The body needs to be cleaned up at all the times. And if you don't do that work on a regular basis, as you start aging, you get your joints get all calcified, and you don't move as you used to like to move. Your mitochondria gets dampened, so the fatigue kicks in. Every single thing starts deteriorating.
Yeah.
And there's a way to bring it back.
Right. And that's why you don't feel it necessarily day by day, but the accumulation happens over years and years and years. And then that's what leads to chronic disease and aging as well, right?
Well, that's the whole point. If once you get a chronic disease, that's the time the body has done its work to bring you back to equilibrium or homeostasis. And it has done everything possible to do that. And now it has come at a point of no return.
Yeah, it's succumbed to the forces.
And when that change happened for the very first time, that change is what the problem begins for us. For me, especially. So when people ask me this question all the time is that, hey, can I reverse any single thing? I said, as long as you have no diagnosis for any diseases, I can get you back to normal. But once you get the diagnosis of a disease that your body has a metabolic disorder or something that happened, that's a point of no return. I can get you back to that point and can help you live a very healthy life until that point, but I cannot reverse it back. Right?
Yeah.
And so like Dr. Kurzweil said, right? Singularity. Yeah. And now he has a new book coming out, Singularity is Nearer right now. So I've been fortunate enough to talking to him as well about this thing. And the thing is, yes, there's a possibility that we can live in perpetuity only if you have no disease today.
If you get there in a healthy state, right? And as I tell that to everybody, my job is to keep you healthy long enough so you see what happens in 2035 when supposedly that's the year Ray Kurzweil predicted the singularity is going to happen.
Well, originally it was 2029 was the original prediction.
Yeah.
Recently, he just changed it to 2025.
Oh, he did? 2025.
2029 was the original one. So I have his speech because I spoke at a conference and he was a keynote speaker at that conference as well. It was a pharmacy conference. This was back, I think it was 10, 12 years ago. At that time, he predicted 2029.
Oh, okay. Because I read in his original book, 2035, but then he's bringing, because, it's so true. The technology is coming faster and faster.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I have the privilege of talking to Ray every once in a while too, and he's an incredible guy. Okay, so you're saying like these are the two pathways we know, but there's probably other effects in the body as well of glutathione.
There is, and the thing is, we have no idea yet. And the thing is, we've done one human trial, and so when we first discovered the glutathione, stable form of glutathione in 2007, it was so far ahead of me understanding what glutathione actually did for us that I never released the product to the public. Now, doctors had access to it, but I never released it to the public because I had no idea what to do with it. So I found out how much to give you, how often to give you. Can I give you long-term? Can I give you short-term? Am I going to get results? What am I going to see? So it took me a long time to do all this figuring things out. And in 2021, we released the product to the public for the first time. And when we release the product, the first question they get asked is, hey, have you done any human trials, right? So of course, I'm very familiar with the human trials. So I'm also on the Dean's Advisory Council at one of the universities. And so I called the dean up and said, hey, can we do some human trials with the glutathione product? I said, oh yeah, absolutely. Let's do it at the university campus. So I said, okay, but you have to be off. You cannot do anything. You just give us a product, both the placebo and the active product, and we'll do all the work. And so they did a human trial, and what they found out, this was a 3-day trial. We went to IRB for approval. It took them about a year to get an IRB approval because we went straight to human trials without animal studies.
Sure.
So that's why they were kind of a little bit hesitant. But they give us the IRB approval because it was a 3-day trial. In 3 days, taking any product like supplements, right? What are you going to see?
In 3 days?
3 days.
Probably don't see much of an effect, right?
Nothing.
No.
You won't see anything. I've taken dozens of vitamins in my lifetime. In 3 days, you don't expect much, right? So I said, okay, we'll do 3-day trials and we'll see what happens. The first thing they noticed was absorption was off the chart. I said, I already knew that answer, so that was given. But what they saw was within 4 hours, they saw the oxidative stress markers, which is the MDA levels, plummeted within 4 hours.
MDA level.
MDA, melanaldehyde.
Yep.
That just went down within the 4 hours. So immediately, oxidative stress markers were dropping. So it has an immediate effect on antioxidant benefits, and immediate effect on making sure that the oxidative stresses doesn't rise anymore.
Right.
We did not check the
HMA?
HNE levels.
Okay, yes,
4 HNE levels. We didn't measure that, or 8 hydroxy levels. We didn't measure those, but we measure MDA levels.
Right.
So those were indicative of the oxidative stress was dropping immediately.
Got it.
I said, okay. So the researchers went one step further. They took the blood out, infected the blood with mycobacterium infection. I said,
Infected by what infection?
Mycobacterium
Oh,
avium.
Mycobacterium avium.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, well, we'll see what happens.
So it was outside of the body.
Outside the body.
Got it.
Yeah, because there's no cure for it right now. So we don't want to do that. So they took the blood within the test tube, infected the blood inside the test tube with the Mycobacterium avium. And so let's observe it. So they saw, okay, they only had money to do a 3-day post-trial, right? So in 3 days, they took the blood and did all the testings. In 3 days, they saw all the rise of all the cytokines. The IL-2, IL-12, interferon gamma, TNF-alpha. These are all the cytokines for inflammatory markers. Yeah. T cells.
Of inflammation.
Of inflammation, because guess what? We're infected, so the body's responding by improving the immune system, and the macrophages were activated. And what they saw was this test tube, which was drawn after 1 hour, the load of the microbacterium dropped in that 1 hour post exposure to glutathione. So within 1 hour, it had a positive impact on mycobacterium infection. Again, this is a 30-patient trial, not a huge trial.
But what do you think the mechanism of that is? Some mechanism through the immune system is supporting the immune system?
It's the immune system.
Yeah.
So besides conjugations and antioxidant,
right,
it has a major impact on activating the immune system.
Oh, okay. So this could be potentially very useful for people that are currently having any kind of infection, viral, bacterial.
Doesn't matter.
Just activates the immune system.
We have doctors using it for mold toxicities and Lyme's disease and some of the viruses and things like that, there's no cure for it today. What we do, Epstein-Barr viruses, Coxsackie viruses, there's nothing we can do about those kinds of things at this point. The only thing we can hope for is if I can increase my immune system, they'll keep it in check. And so that's what they've been using for years now with us.
So this is, even though we don't know the exact mechanism, this is a third benefit of glutathione. Okay. Now, you've mentioned a few times that the glutathione that you found is a stable form.
Yes.
And so just, can you unpack that a little bit? Because, what is an unstable, stable, and then talk about also like IV versus the skin application product that you've developed.
Okay. Yeah. So this was a major breakthrough in my history. But glutathione outside the human body gets oxidized really fast.
Right.
So as soon as it comes in contact with the air, boom, it just gets oxidized really fast.
Okay.
So the key is, can I keep it stable enough so it doesn't get oxidized? That was my only goal I had in my pharmacy. I said, my job as a pharmacist to give a stable product and give it to some researcher or physician to use it up. So that was my goal.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning for something major than that, but that was my first goal. When I made that first product was stable enough at room temperature, I said, I can work with this. Now we have time to work on it.
Right.
And nobody
How did you make it stable? What did you do to it?
So we use dextrin technology. So glutathione is a 3 amino acid chain peptide.
Right.
One of the amino acids, which is cysteine, has a sulfur group.
Okay.
The sulfur group smells like sulfur.
Yeah.
The sulfur group is the most reactive amino acids in the whole.
That's what gives it the smell.
The smell.
Yeah.
But that's the most reactive. As soon as the sulfur gets dislodged, right, and accepts the hydrogen from the air, the smell goes away and the whole thing gets oxidized, the whole thing turns brown. So now that's the mechanism that it works.
Okay.
So my job was put a chemical cap on it.
Oh, okay. So you make the sulfur group no longer exposed
exactly
to the oxygen.
Yeah.
Got it.
I again, X-Men movies, you put the cap on, you put the cap on, you cannot get to the head.
Yeah.
That was my whole thing. I was just visualizing that thing. Put the chemical cap on.
Yeah.
And once you put a chemical cap on, it's no longer accessible to the environment.
Got it.
Voila. That was my first technology. We got a patent for that one. So when we got that, I said, okay, now what? Now to get inside your body. What I found out was, and this was again early 2000s, that I was making liposome glutathione as another technology. This was huge in the prescription world. Right. Some liposome products in the prescription world was great.
And liposomal, just for people who don't know, is putting a vitamin or anything inside of a liposome so it gets absorbed through the skin.
Well, the skin or the stomach or wherever. Doesn't
Anywhere,
matter.
right? Okay.
It doesn't matter. But liposome technology, it
Through the
basically
mucosa, sorry.
it basically layers it up. So
Right.
this is a molecule, you basically layer it up with some lecithin.
Yeah.
So that becomes like an onion. You can
Got it.
as it goes through your body, keeps on peeling the onion. When it reaches the intestines, is exposed to the intestines to get it absorbed right then and there.
I see.
It bypasses the stomach, harsh condition of the stomach.
So it kind of protects the molecule until
Exactly.
it gets to the intestines to be absorbed.
So that was to say, hey, liposome was a great product in the pharmaceutical side, but nobody back 25 years ago, nobody knew to make this for the vitamins. I said, okay. So one of the doctors came to me. I said, hey, can you make this as a liposome form of this product? And apparently he was the patent holder for the liposome technology.
Got it.
So he comes to us and said, okay, fine. What do I want to make? I said, make me some vitamin C, some CoQ10, some PQQ, some astaxanthins, and some glutathione. I said, okay. So we made all this product. And the only one that I was interested in was glutathione, of course. And I said, Doc, this is not working. I said, work on somebody, not work on everybody. I said, oh, well, if that's the case, then don't worry about it. Just make the other products.
Yeah.
And the rest do this, we'll abandon this project. I said, okay. But I said, I know the benefits of glutathione because I started reading up on glutathione at that time. I said, I know the benefits. I said, there has to be something else. So that's when I started making the IVs in 2001.
So why was the liposomal glutathione not working? What was
I had no idea. I had no idea why it was not. I'll tell you, in 2011, the study was done. That's when I found out why it was not working back then. But at that time, there was no research done. So I had no idea.
Fast forward,
right? So it did not work. So I said, well, there has to be some other reason I could not figure out.
Right.
In 2001, when I was making the IV form of glutathione, it only worked for short term. And I said, why is it only working short term? And then I had students back then, they come for internship at the pharmacy. I said, hey, can you find out about some research articles on glutathione? I need more research. What's going on? Why is it not working? And there was a study done in 1991 that when you give 2 grams of IV push of glutathione, 100% of the glutathione only stayed in the plasma. It never entered the blood cells. And because of the state of the plasma, everything gets filtered by the kidneys, and by the 5 to 15 minutes, all the glutathione was in the kidney, in the bladder. And so nothing got absorbed into the blood cells, and the body just spit everything out.
Okay.
But then, it works a little bit.
Right.
It does work.
Yeah.
How? So my question is, well, it works. It doesn't work right away. It works right away for 15, 20 minutes. And then there's a lag for about 6 hours and later, and then it works again. I said, what's happening?
Right.
I couldn't figure out. And then what they did was they were continuing monitoring the blood test. And what they saw, like an hour and a half to 3 hours later, they saw a rise of cysteine in the blood. Where did the cysteine come from?
Yeah.
What was happening was the body was breaking down the glutathione into amino acids because it senses this as a peptide. It's just chopping it down.
Oh, I see.
And cysteine, it was getting reabsorbed. And cysteine enters the bloodstream, enters the intracellular levels, and now the body can take cysteine and produce glutathione endogenously for the first time.
Got it.
So it does work, but not because it is absorbing it. You're giving glutathione, the body's taking the cysteine out of it, make its own glutathione.
I see.
So I said, okay, so that's how it was working. And so I was beating against the bush all the time with all the physicians. Said, hey, this is how it's working. You should be careful on how to use it. And of course, Dr. Perlmutter, he was using 5 and 10 grams of IV push for Parkinson's patients because I was dealing with a lot of Parkinson's patients at that time.
Right.
He goes, you may have to go like 3 grams. I said, well, 3 grams is not working. He said, well, go 5 grams, go to 10 grams. I said, by pushing more and more glutathione is not the solution. There's something I'm missing. I do not know. But anyways, I do not know the whole answer. In 2011, somebody took up the challenge of the liposome technology and did a study at the University of Texas, Austin. Same thing. They gave 26 kids, autistic kids, oral liposome products and transdermal liposome products. And in both ends, they only saw a rise of cysteine in the blood, no glutathione. And eventually, that rise of glutathione came in. So please make sure everybody knows all product works, but you should know how it works.
Yeah.
Because if you have a gene mutation, which now you're finding out was 15 to 20% of people have it.
Yeah.
It's huge. Those people are never going to see the benefit from taking glutathione supplementations if it's broken down, it never gets reabsorbed.
Right. Exactly. So what is that gene mutation that we need to look for?
So GSTM, GSTP, GST, GGT, there's 3 or 4 of those.
Got it.
And they may have a gene mutation, but they may not be expressing it yet.
Yeah.
So that's another problem, right? Because just because you have the genes doesn't mean that you have the problem yet. But when it becomes a problem, then you go downhill really, really fast.
So there's some people that cannot use IV or oral glutathione, even if it's liposomal, because they cannot convert it into an active form.
Active form at all. And those people, it's like a really fast shift. In fact, every conference I go to, I always find one doctor. They have this brain fog for decades, and they have no idea. Most physicians that I work with, they themselves are patients first.
Yeah,
that's what they converted. That's what they converted, right? Otherwise, there's too much money in allopathic medicine. You're doing this for passion. You're doing it for passion because you found a cure for yourself.
Right.
So now you want to help the people. That's what you're doing this for.
Exactly.
Not because to make money.
That's exactly why. Yeah.
And so most people that I work with are converted to this practice because they themselves are patients. And they say, "Oh, I use glutathione all the time." I said, "Well, just use my product." And I kid you not, 1 out of 100, I'll find one doctor and say, "Oh my God, in 5 to 15 minutes, the brain fog just clears up instantaneously." "Oh, I've been using some liposome products or some IV glutathione for forever and did not do anything." One treatment, and the brain opens up. And all of a sudden, now they believe. I said, "Okay, now I know this drug is actually absorbing and is actually doing something within 5 to 15 minutes."
Yeah. And so when you say your product, you're talking about the transdermal, the skin solution, the lotion for your skin.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and talking us through glutathione, an important molecule.
It's my pleasure to be here today. Thanks for inviting.